Bing. I think we're live. We never really know for sure. I mean, good morning, everyone, and good afternoon, good evening. It is the Martin Fowler Scrum. Hey, I tell you, some of our YouTube videos, I got 333 views on like the web pairing. I mean, and Pat, I was looking at your YouTube thing to grab a link to the Martin Fowler Scrum, and like, you know, some of your scrums and pairings have got views in the hundreds. I don't know who it is who's watching these things. I wish we could get them all to come and give us money, but that's another story. Let me just start with me. Updates. Yesterday, I kind of took over from Raul doing kind of DevOps stuff for website 1, and I merged in a couple of pull requests and got out the big premium refactoring and now PayPal endpoint into the premium payments thing out onto production, not without some annoying compromises I had to make, but I made tickets to describe what those compromises were, and I've blogged all about it, so I feel better now. Then what I'm doing right now is mainly working through local support pull requests and trying to get up to date with that. And there's suddenly quite a few there, and that's good stuff. I think, the thing I really want to know, that's still on the blog, is can we get coverage stats on our Jasmine tests in a Rails thing? That's what I was kind of like thinking I would really like to know. This sort of a look. I feel like when I'm evaluating the Jasmine tests that get submitted, like I'm always like, are these really sufficient? Is this doing the right stuff? And I know how to get Jasmine coverage if we're running it on the server side and Node, what have you, are using Istanbul, but I'm not sure. Does it even make sense on the client side? Anyway, it's going forward. What's the word? Oh, the word is more programming in an hour and a half because we moved it back, and then more trying to make progress with website. I guess either website 1 or async voter afterwards will be my plan. I had a meeting with Semaphore CI yesterday, who apparently are all based in Serbia, and they're lovely folks, and I gave them some feedback on their Semaphore CI, and they're considering becoming a sponsor. I've got a Michael, you might be interested to look. I've kind of like, they've said like, send us a price list. So I've written out a price list that's in the AV mentors thing, and I guess I will send that to them. I'm kind of like agonizing, should I put it in gold leaf or, sorry, Michael?
Per month?
That's the one thing I've done is per month, monthly. And I have no idea if it's like, I mean, this is also this is sort of similar to the sponsor stuff that we have with Dree. It's sort of similar price sheet that I've been working with for, what are they called? Or discussing with MLab. I don't know if we're massively underselling ourselves or overpricing ourselves, or who knows? Should I make a PDF for these things to go in so it looks really professional? These are the things that I agonize about. Anyway, Michael was, I think, first in. Michael, how are things going with you?
Good. I worked with Matt yesterday, doing some characterization tests for existing Twitter notifications. Got that in. That was kind of it for yesterday.
Cool beans. There's nothing blocking you at the moment?
No.
Great. Excellent report. Pat, how are things going with you?
Yeah, good, Sam. So let's see what I did yesterday. I had a pair programming session with Vijaya on NetPlus. I also had a pair programming session with Sigrid on NetPlus. In the morning, Code 9 camp, by the way, is going to his 13th week next week, and he's going to attend it. He thinks they need to learn more than they've learned so far. It's just so much. So anyway,
that's what Agile Ventures is for. It's that, when the boot camp runs out and you can't do any more boot camp, the extensions.
I think that's what he's doing. He's steering features, which is good. We had a client meeting on NetPlus yesterday. It went well. The client still has many job categories so that we can train our cruncher to recognize a medical technician job description, and we can train the cruncher to recognize medical technician resumes and then match the two. That's what that's all about. So we need information, descriptions and resumes. So still working on that. The PR review or two for the SA project. Trying to help out there. I did have a pair programming session, I think, with Susanna yesterday.
Oh, well done.
And what's that?
I said, well done. Well done.
Yeah, I strongly recommended that she put together a Scrum, or at least an initial Scrum, so we can do some planning about when we might meet on Scrum. Since she did daily, but bad at that, she was going to recommend, I think, Ashley, maybe to take that on. I did tell her that from my point of view, she has major obstacles to people joining her project, because if there's not a place where people can go and listen and learn about the project and actually talk to people, all they see is a bunch of flurry of activity on Slack, and it's almost impenetrable. And where do I insert myself?
Sure.
I want to participate. So I said, do that so we get more people joining the project and we're in control. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. I did a little editing of the process, project management doc, as you saw, Sam, a couple changes there. On the America Scrum, Sage joined that with respect to the Wiki EU project now. Also had his intern from India come in, lovely young woman, who's a senior at a university there. Anyway, Sage had created the waffle board as of yesterday, and he was in the process of populating it with stories that are accessible for new people to the project. And we're actually going to have our first sprint planning session tomorrow. So that's moving faster than I thought. I'd assume maybe by Monday we'll be ready, but he's ready to go today.
All right. When
I say tomorrow, is yesterday's reference. So today we'll have a sprint planning session, and we decided on weekly sprints. Maybe we'll go to 2 weeks at some point. Sure. Anyway, that project seems to be getting off the ground really well. And I think at some point, maybe we ought to go back and say, what's the role of mentors or senior people in helping to form how projects get formed, how they're born, and how they get launched correctly. So I think, this experience will be good. We'll come back and do that at some point. And then I did discuss the wireframe, not the wireframe, but I discussed the logo option that you were mentioning, Laura, where you might want to redesign the logo for the MetPlus organization. And I think I DM'd you that he's in the process of copywriting the current logo. Yeah. So it's not what we're doing. And on the wireframe review, he was available Monday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you can accommodate that.
Yeah, 12:30 Eastern, so you are, that's fine. It'll be evening for me, that's fine. I'll make a plan, because I haven't even got my laptop back yet. It was supposed to arrive this morning, so Monday should be perfect.
Okay, and I'll send you a reminder too, or we'll talk about it. Your UTC, what's your time zone? UTC plus?
2.
2, okay. All right, that should work okay. All right, great, thank you. That's my update, no blockers.
Excellent, thanks, Pat. Let's go on to Matt. Matt, how are things going with you?
Yeah, very good. We got Redeemify. I'm back to trying to organize entering some sample codes and getting some of us to try it out, because like Armando said, he wants us to do like a beta with AV.
Right. So
I don't know if that's the kind of beta he means, or do we have to actually be using it? But the first step anyways is just get some sample codes in there, and I found a couple of classes that Armando wrote to generate random codes, and they're pretty nice, but I can't use them because he's got a couple of constants that he defines that I don't know what to set to. I've got a message out for him, maybe if you could entice him to look at it or something.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
not critical, I can just make up some codes.
Yeah, the thing to look out for on Armando's projects is an encrypted config application.yaml file .asc. But anyway,
he came up with this nice method of encrypting the application.yaml. That
I'm not sure that I would call it nice, but yes, it is there.
Bit of work. That's it. I'll be free to pair. Well, I guess after the mob session.
Right. Yeah, you'll be off transporting children around, won't you?
Yes. Yep. And after.
Good stuff. Okay. Great. So
that's it for me.
Thanks, Matt. Great stuff. Lara, how are things going with you?
Yeah, cool. For me, I've just got a ton of client deliveries that have come in this week, so that's unfortunately been my focus. Not much coding going on at the moment, but hopefully to settle down from tomorrow.
Good show, and good luck getting your laptop back.
Thank you. Yeah, that should arrive this afternoon.
Good show. Okay. Yeah, well, I think that's our Scrum. I just mentioned to Pat that I reached out with an email to Susanna to encourage her to come to sort of, thank her for, I think she's putting a huge amount of work into the SHF project, which is fantastic. I mean, I need to work out for her as an AV premium member. Is she getting enough support? Is there more that I can do? But I was encouraging her to. I think just if she can come into some of these scrums, and just sort of connect with the flow of the rest of things, that'll be a huge step forward. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. And anything? Anybody forgotten? Any other critical things to coordinate?
Not from my side.
No. Okay. Well, I think that's our scrum. I guess what I'm going to do now is just I would jump and try and do another 20 minutes local support pull request reviewing now, and then lunch, and I'll see people at the more program session.
Cool.
Sounds good.
So,
Do you want any help with the reviewing pull requests?
well, I mean, if people want to hang out here, and I'll just do it. I mean, so partly also, I'm always sort of hesitant to finish the scrum before we get to the because sometimes people join in the last minute and they're like, oh, these awful Agile Venture people, they're never available. How can I possibly get in touch with them? They're so closed off. This little clique. But yeah, so since this is recording, yeah, and if anybody's interested, I guess I will just on it. So yeah, interestingly, what we've got on local support at the moment, client meeting for that tomorrow. I've got four pull requests in the hopper. Here we go. So Marouen, who's an AV mentor and premium member, he so this is kind of like preparatory work for wanting to do tighter integration between the map and the list view, and so he's actually removed the GMap for Rails gem and sort of replaced it with the component JavaScript elements and our custom things, because with the idea that it will give us more flexibility over the GMap for Rails gem. So I've just reviewed that one, and that's was prompting my questions of do we have enough Jasmine tests? Can we get Jasmine test coverage? Kind of things. I know there's a sort of a fundamental challenge here with any pull request about people have worked hard on something, but we also want to ensure quality code coming in, and how much do you push back, and anyway. But
are we still using the Jasmine Rails gem in that project?
I believe so. So I mean, I guess, and the build is green. It's got a couple of kind of obscure code climate comments on the JavaScript. What I do like about what he's done here is he's thrown out the CoffeeScript, and it's like pure JavaScript, which I kind of feel like is like one less thing to kind of get myself confused over. With three other pull requests we've got. So Norm is, I think, coming from the 169 course. He grabbed a bit of the search engine optimization. And I've got Anar, who's a new premium member, and Marcelo, who's a long-running premium member. I haven't looked at these two. I guess particularly because this is relevant to what Lara's doing, it might be good to look at this one. I reviewed this yesterday, and it he initially started a while ago. So even though we've got premium members there, it's what I feel, and I'm having an ongoing conversation with him. He's just granted me access to the repo. This one is all about trying to make sure that we have good default tags on all pages, and I think he's got it working. I'm worried it's a little bit more convoluted than it needs to be. I'm also, depending upon how the meta tag settings work, and let me check out the appropriate branch here. I go there. It's ahead of that by. Check out Norm. Is that what I want? I just want like Norm's latest code. There we go. Okay, so this is Norm's latest code here, and there's local support, which we're in here, and I think is it also maybe not? It's maybe not synced to develop at the moment. Let's have a quick look. What have we got here? Develop. Yeah, see yeah. So the thing that I want to do, and just give me push access, is I want to git checkout develop, git pull origin develop, grab. Now I don't need the mouse. Okay, and so if I did get merge develop like that, then this should now, will you update automatically? You probably won't. Do a comparison with the develop branch. And I'm starting to think, oh yeah, I could get much better at deleting. So this is his changes here. So on the other screen, let's pull it in here so you guys can see it. So the change that we've got here is now set tags becomes a before filter on application controller that we had here anyway. So that seems reasonable. And we've got, yeah, so this all looks good. Yeah, set tags, which we'd sort of put was being previously shared by the volunteer ops controller and the what's it called, the organizations controller, but not being called on every page. So this now sets and says, right, you're going to be called on every page, and we have now basically two default operations for everything else. So that seems good.
Where's the set meta tags function coming from?
That is being pulled in by a gem.
Okay.
Which is doing all our meta tags for us. So then, the interesting thing here is that in the organizations controller, we now have. So this is where I think it's kind of got a bit snarled up. So the set tags, which is now being called, we've now got this new thing called set controller meta tags. And go on, Laura.
I know, I'm just saying what?
Yeah, and I think I think we just don't actually need that at all. I would have thought we can just because set tags is going to be being called anyway. I mean, I guess we've got the issue that we've probably got is that the set organization is only called on some of these things. So there may be other things where it breaks. So kind of, although I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I would have thought that what we wanted, I mean, I guess what I should do in the background here is I should just run the Qs.
Yeah, so if organization's nil or
yeah, although that still can plague this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, although this set controller meta tags is only on show, but I guess what it means is that we've got the application controller, so this set tags with its whatever will be called on every other thing. But it shouldn't. Basically, if we just what we want is we want to have these, we want to override these and sort of, but not, and just call the super method if the organization is nil, I think is what we want. So what it should be here, I think, is, I won't change it in the middle of it's running there. I think the fact that it takes 10 minutes to run the Qs on one is problematic. I would love to get set up there so that it would tell us which were the long running ones. And actually, to be honest, I'm starting to think that what we really want is a middleman site that's a sort of a single page thing, and then we have all of the heavy duty stuff like the projects and the events are separate RESTful APIs, and JavaScript in the middleman site pulls that data out. So, for example, if the event stuff all goes down or is under too heavy load, okay, so that part of the site breaks, but it doesn't affect the rest of the system, and we can also be running the test suites like separately for each thing.
well, like a React app or something.
Or yeah, whatever.
Regular JavaScript.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I mean, React is sounding quite nice in as much as, you know, we don't have to do one. You know, you can kind of use bits and pieces. So that looks like a standard failing, what have you. I guess we have the SEO feature. That's the key one. So that's obviously passing at the moment. So what I would have thought that we wanted in here was we wanted to keep this, we wanted to lose this, And then this would basically say super. What would it be? It would be no. I guess it would be like return super unless organization is what it would need to be, so that it doesn't. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And so we want the sim. I've already got them there. So I think again here we don't need that, and so I think we would want. Oops! Ah, what was that? Some strange part of my desktop. So we would want. We would want this, and in this case it's volunteer op. I think to Norm's credit, I mean, this is the kind of thing that it's tricky because you need to be holding in your head like the relationship between the files and the different parts of the inheritance hierarchy. And so here now, this has gone from display meta tags to set. Now this one I'm kind of surprised about. Like, I don't think we need that, do we? Because this is like calling that, like display.
Yeah.
Go on, Laura.
Sorry. No. Okay, now carry on. I think we needed that. We needed that when the static pages weren't didn't have set meta tags yet. So I don't. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also here. This is like we're doing this set meta tags. It's not.
It's not rendering anything in the view.
It's not rendering anything. I don't know that that's necessarily going to have any effect.
Not a good place for that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably, I mean, it may have an effect if it's.
Yeah, we will take it out for the moment. I mean, let's take out all the things that we think we don't need. And so now we've got this. The SEO has been updated to say that that page is there, and it should have a meta description, and we've got some additional. I don't know that we've. What have we? I'm kind of a bit confused about that change there. Okay, but at least here. So we've made those changes. Features, admin, SEO feature. I mean, the key thing in the first instance is. Okay, so we expected hierarchy helping. Okay, so for some reason there, the titles have not worked for the volunteer op. Now, why is that the case? Why would that not work? We've got meta tag title and meta tag. It's all saved.
What's the order of before filters, and when are they run? Is there a before filter setting up the @volunteer op?
Yeah, all right. So that's okay. Yeah, so there is the issue there that I lost that. Yeah, the set tag maybe being run before the this somewhere in my list of windows. I will still have that comparison. Will I not? There, no. Okay, let's close the other things. Project scope, no. Local support, website one. Oh, I have lost the other ones. Okay. Yeah, so that, right. The issue may be that this set tags, I mean, I assume these are going to be called before that other thing. So we have the issue that.
So where is the @volunteer op set?
Yeah, it's set in these before actions here. Like, so that's organization. I mean, the interesting thing is that the organizations.
That's before the method's called, but before the filter's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we may have the. I mean, it occurs to me that the thing to do here, well, the one thing is I'm thinking, right, this, what we want to have it do is that if we kind of want, if this is then going to run before those things, what we want is when this set tags runs, I mean, these, before these run, we want to make sure if there's an entity that we want to override with, then that method has been called, if it's appropriate to call it. Oh, bloody inheritance. But so we could, for example, it could be that it's rather than set volunteer or organization, it's like, set, we could be calling, I wonder if there's a way to run a, actually, would it be better if it was an after filter?
Didn't you mention that?
I think he did. Maybe he tried that and that didn't work, but
Didn't work.
Then he maybe didn't have the changes that we had. We will see. It may be that if the after filter there, it doesn't work. No, interesting. Yeah, so that works even less. Now, presumably that's because the after filter happens after it's been rendered.
So an exception, yeah.
But so we've got controlling order of Rails controller filters. I mean, they're all supposed to be called actions now. Ooh, and there's prepend before filter. But that's interesting. Prepend before filter. Prepend before filter. This method is deprecated. Prepend before filter 321. So I wonder there, and it seems like it's gone from 4, which we're in. We've got, I want prepend before filter Rails 4. Prepend, this will be called prepend before action. So I think then the implication is that we would want to make sure, so we can run that thing before these ones, which is maybe dangerous, but so we could say prepend before action. I don't know if it will have the effect that we hope.
That's to set the volunteer in the org, right?
Yeah. And it also has an organization. Bit of a stab in the dark there. Oh, but it all goes green. I love it when a stab in the dark comes to a nice green output.
Nice one.
Yeah. So I think that's an improvement. We've got less things going on there. This stays as it was. This comes in with those. That stays with the change that we expect. In here, we now simply override these things. I'm kind of slightly concerned there in that it was only failing on volunteer. Oh no, okay. One was a volunteer, one was an organization. It was failing in the right 2 places. Okay, so that's
Someone working in your house or something.
Sorry.
Sounds like some building work going on for Lara.
Yeah, sorry.
And then okay, so that's pretty. And then we've got this. I should have a page with description, and we've now changed this. Like, I guess well, and I need to wrap up and have lunch here, get ready for the next thing. I think sensibly what I do is I push this back up and I ask him about why the need for the change there. Was there something? Yeah. Anyway, okay. So have a look at that. I'm going to do git commit minus. So I'm going to say untangles using prepend for action. Git push norm. Can I have a norm? So I'm going to spell git correctly. Git push norm, and then this. And that should push that directly into his branch, and then so that leaves me still with 2 premium local support pull requests that I need to get done. I'll just have a quickly look at while that. We've got a lovely big long chat there from Anna. The annoying thing is I look at it, I kind of want the blue to come back because I haven't looked at this yet, and then. Let's see quickly what we've got from. Okay, that's a step in the right direction, maybe from. Okay, so I've still got those 2 things to do there. And my cached browser will leave that with me, and I can say there norm and have made simpler with prepend before action. Take a look and see what you think. By the way, why did that cucumber updated? I probably did it already. From to.
Sam, I have to run. I'll
Yeah.
catch you just now.
Yeah, I'll see you in an hour. Thanks very much.
Goodbye.
Bye for now. Has he already spoken about that in here? No. Okay.
So what are you covering in the pair mob programming or whatever?
We're going to carry on with more confident Ruby. It's all about styles of collecting input.
Okay. What are you doing? Like, what are your exercises for that? Just ones from the book?
Working from the book, and then trying to get others involved in extending those exercises and doing them for different things. Yeah. But I'll see you in a couple of hours.
2 hours, right? Something like that.
Yeah, give or take. All right. Thanks.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Bye.